Good afternoon, YouTubers. Well, I'm trying to sunbathe on the roof again today, but it's a little bit overcast. So the clouds coming and going and covering my sun up. Never mind. It's very changeable this time of year. I have to take advantage of it while it's here, though, because you know it might be windy and raining tomorrow. Won't be able to sunbathe, so I like to get a bit of sun. Makes me feel better. Might go flying. Don't know what the weather's like in the UK. It's probably quite grotty, but I don't mind. I'm building up my helicopter hours on the Sea King, and went to the hospital yesterday. Everything went okay there, no problems, and there was nothing else happening really. I've been looking at bits of news in the UK. ISIS bride has had her appeal rejected. She's got to go back to Bangladesh, I suppose, somewhere she's never been. It's a bit harsh, I suppose, isn't it, taking your passport away, especially if you're born in UK. But I don't know all the ins and outs, so I'm not going to make a decision one way or the other. See, I don't think it's right though taking people's passports away, especially if they're British. You know, my parents were from Bangladesh, weren't they? But I can't see that taking their passport away is going to be such a big deal. Why? You know, I mean, you wouldn't take someone's passport off them if they were Welsh, would you? And their parents and their grandparents were Welsh. I mean, why do it to someone whose parents were from Bangladesh? You know, just because they've done something, ran off and married to ISIS bride and all this nonsense. There was a time when you'd be hanged as a traitor. They hanged William Joyce, you know, and he wasn't even on our side. They hanged him for being a traitor. He just had a radio show that everybody hated. Anyway, it's big grey clouds come over now. It's blocking out my sun, so I think I'm going to go flying. Thanks for watching. Okay, welcome back. Welcome back. I'm in Ipswich today. I'm at the hospital in Ipswich. This is the helipad, apparently. Quick look, there we are. Yes. So that must be Ipswich Hospital. I haven't flown here. I've just started here. So I'll have to get the map up, and we'll get the map out, and we'll sort of figure out where to go from here. I have to use the map because I don't know my way around Ipswich in this sort of area. So I very much need the map. You should have a map with you at all times when you're flying anyway. Okay, so we're here, so yeah, okay. This must be Felixstowe here. This is Clacton. One of my airplanes crashed at Clacton once. And Clacton is sort of south. Right a bit of south. Okay, so Clacton it is. Let's go to Clacton. So south is that way, so we'll take off and we'll circle around a bit and have a look at the hospital here. Okay, brakes are off, holding on the brakes, everything's looking good, all clear above and behind. T's and P's all look quite normal. Okay. It's quite a congested area here. So I'll probably head for that field over there. Never ever been to Ipswich in my life. Probably never will either. Found out something very interesting about this helicopter the other day, and that is that when it's in the hover, when they're winching, the guy in the back at the door, he can steer the helicopter forwards and backwards and change direction because the pilot can't see what it is that they're hovering over. So he's operating the winch up and down with the winch man on, and he's also moving the helicopter following whatever the target is. The pilot's just sitting there, can't see what's happening. That's a scary thought. Okay, so this must be Ipswich then. Oh, there's the estuary. Okay, I see where the hospital is in relation to the water. So we'll slowly wang round onto south and we'll head for Clacton-on-Sea. Guess one of my PA-28s crashed there. Don't know why it crashed there, but it did. It was coming into land on the grass runway and it finished up in the trees, almost going in the lake. Right, let's pull the wheels up. Oh, Ipswich has got quite a big marina. Didn't know that. Bit of overspeed there now, need to reduce on the collective. I suppose I'd better go all the way down to the south coast, follow the coast, that sort of thing, and should do some more inland navigation, because navigating around the coastline is really easy. It's very difficult to get lost while you're following coastlines and you've got relatively good visibility. But cross-country stuff is a lot more difficult, a bit more challenging. So I'll go to some more inland towns and villages in England and Wales. for a change. Right, some of them have got DME, yeah, we've got 7 miles to run. DME is distance measuring equipment. You can lock onto a beacon, you can fly towards it, and it'll tell you how far away you are. They don't all have it. Good tool though, DME. The more tools you have, assets, some people call them, the more assets you have, the easier life is. And it's true, because you don't always use all the tools in your box, but if you don't have them, you can't use them, can you? I like to see it that way. This is real time and weather here in Ipswich. Well, we're south of Ipswich now. Floating across the estuary, in fact, and we're approaching Clacton-on-Sea, which is a nice little grass strip. I remember coming in low, and the lamp posts and the main road, and then there's the trees and the lake to the left. That's about all I can remember, because after the aeroplane crash, the air accidents investigation branch were there on site investigating the wreckage. Nobody died in that crash. They were taken to hospital. There were 2 pilots. They went to hospital. I don't know what, but I don't. As far as I know, I don't know what the cause of the crash was. And the pilots couldn't remember. They used to take the aeroplane off and do some cross-country flying, and they'd take turns being pilot in command, share the cost. It's a lot of pilots do that. Cost sharing is very common. It means you can extend the range, you can extend your flying time, and for half the price. You might get some passengers who want to sit in the back and chip in as well. Okay. You don't have to fly to and from beacons. I mean, when people learn VORs, they beacon up, and that's what they do. But you can just set a beacon, and it just gives you a relative bearing. And if you got DME, you can get distance as well. So whoever's navigating, it's always better if you have 2 pilots. One navigates, does the radio, the other one flies the aircraft, and you take turns doing that. Because if you're navigating, you're flying, you're doing the radio, you're doing everything yourself, it's a lot more challenging. It's got to be done though. If you're on your own, you've got to do it. Simple as that. Right, so we should be almost here. Looking for an airfield. What's a DME? Say 1 mile. So we'll gain a bit of altitude, have a look around, see if we can see this little strip. Can't see it yet. Pretty sure that's the VOR though. So the airfield should be ahead. GS Echo Golf Sierra Quebec. That's probably it. See what happens when you're looking at the map. You look up and the world's coming crashing towards you, and you think, no, that's why you have a navigator. Because while you're there faffing about looking at the map, you're not looking where you're going, are you? Right. Clacton-on-Sea, just up ahead. So I'll start slowing down a little. Let's drop some wheels because I intend to land here. Yes, wheels have come down. There were definitely no wind turbines last time I was at Clacton, that's for sure. Yes, if you look up the aircraft registration, the one that crashed, it was Golf Bravo Oscar Sierra Papa, and it was a PA-28 161, I think. Really good aeroplane. Very, very sad to see that go. Here we go. I think this is Clacton. Is it how I remember it? Not really. But like I said, it was a long time ago, and I do recall a lake. Trees and a lake, so maybe that's supposed to be the lake right there, and somehow the aircraft finished up in the trees next to the lake. I'm pretty sure that's supposed to be a lake. I do remember the road and the lampposts. Let's come around to the right and we'll do the approach. So if you're coming in an aeroplane, you know, it's you can see how those lampposts would, and they actually are there on the real approach, and it's a short grass strip, and we've got the wind behind us in this case, so we wouldn't be coming in from this end, but you can see how an inexperienced pilot would want to get that aircraft over those lampposts and getting it down and stopped, and somehow nobody actually saw what happens, but it did bounce here and it finished up going into these trees over here, and it literally hit the trees and crashed in the trees, but didn't make it to the lake. So that was lucky, because they would have drowned, wouldn't they? Possibly. Like I said, nobody died, but they did go to hospital, both of them. But you can see it is a challenging little strip to get into, especially if you're not familiar with the strip. If you'd learned to fly here, I suppose it would be a lot easier, but if you hadn't, then it would be quite challenging. And as I remember, the aircraft was over where those tanks are. They got it out and it was on bricks, blocks and things. And I think the AIB report said that the engine was producing full power when it went into the trees. Had loads of fuel on board. They don't know why it crashed. They really don't. I got hit by some wind or something, turbulence. I mean, I don't know. Anyway, welcome to Clacton-on-Sea. Echo Golf Sierra we're back. And I'll see you in the next video.